Hi, welcome. I'm Naira and I'm here to inspire you. Oh, welcome to my forest of thoughts and dancing and existing. I I take frequent breaks from myself and from others, which I think is necessary sometimes to just I don't know, for living purposes, I guess. Um, this morning I woke up with enough time to get myself ready before I took my son to school, and that was nice. I think starting the day off with getting ready really helps, especially when it comes to wanting to take care of myself, right, and wanting to be available for others who need me and responsibilities that call me. So I've been thinking a lot about just so many things, but one of them just this morning, I was telling my mom, she's like, "Oh, I got this face mask. Somebody gave me this face mask. Can you tell me where it's from?" And I looked it up and it was from China. And I was like, "Oh, it's made in China." And I was like, "That means it's really," and she's like waiting for me. I was like, "Really, really good." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, if it's made in China, it means it's really, really good because we have just been, you know, hearing the worst things, and it's actually just not true. And I'm just finding that so many things that I thought to be true just aren't true anymore. I had my roommate, my first roommate in college was from China, and I remember her being up, all night. She would dress up and then she would talk to her friends all night while I was trying to sleep, and vice versa. And I just remember like feeling that she was a bit odd and she didn't really want to like be in our like immerse herself in the American culture. Um, but it was all right. She was cool, and I took her home with me for like winter break, and oh, this poor girl. I took her to this party in an American party, which sadly like involves guns sometimes, and somebody pulled out a gun, and she was so scared, and I felt so badly because this person from China, this lovely girl, I like have put her in this weird situation, and really not thinking much of it at the time, but my God, she must have such an idea of of the United States. Um, and then in college, when I was studying abroad in Spain, there was a guy from China there, and I remember him telling me like, "Oh, in China, we what we know is that America is super, has a lot of propaganda, and they are not really free, even though they think that they're free, and it's just kind of like, man." And I remember being like, no, that's so crazy because he's actually the one that's living like that and not me. And now, seeing how true how true all of that was and how true it has been for so long is just really eye opening, and I think I'm just finding more and more like how much my eyes are open, how much I can see of the world, and people living in all parts of the world. Um, and I've always kind of had this thing of like, why is America in charge? Why do we have all these military bases everywhere? Like, it never really made sense to me, and I always questioned that. And now I see why it is like this and how right, how right like I have been, to have this understanding of like what is actually good and true and what is not. Like, if you have to keep telling people you're good, if you have to keep boasting about how awesome you are and how great your life is, like, most likely it's just not. It's most likely just not. So it's really nice to be in this place now where I am able to see that life is really wonderful, and can be, so long as we are living with community. Like we have people on Xiaohongshu that are completely welcoming people from all over. And it's so nice because that app within like days has translated to English, and not just for Americans, just not just for like for us, right? But for everybody, so that people can understand each other. For people from Brazil and people from Jordan and Uzbekistan, they're all on there. And like the community is so welcoming, and they're like, yes, come here, stay here. I saw this girl who had like done this, if you watch these things, or if you like these apps, here is the Chinese equivalent. And somebody in the comments saying, oh, maybe we should just kind of leave them alone, maybe this should be it, maybe we shouldn't infiltrate so much. And they're all like, no, please come join. And it is like, it's always the people that have been hurt the most. It's always the people who have gone through the most that are able and willing to be like, no, I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be marginalized. I'm not going to do that to you, you know? Um, and I think that that's really beautiful. Like, I'm just really excited to travel so much more now, because I've just kind of been living in this bubble of like Western imperialism. And I'm really excited to like explore. Even though I've traveled to countless countries, it's still been very like, feels very capitalistic, and just kind of living in that mode. And I don't want to live there anymore. So I'm excited. I truly am. I'm really excited about all of the beauty that comes from being open. Being open minded. Like the second best tacos after Mexico that I had were in Singapore, right? Um, because when you're open and you have people from all over, like it makes your own country excel in so many things, like exposing each other to foods and medicines, natural things that are just, they should just be human rights. And that is what this app uh, does. The Xiaohongshu app does. It really allows people to just be, and they're all just like, here, this is my home. This, very open about what I pay for electricity and what I pay for food and this, because the enemy, when we don't talk about how much we make and how much we spend, it only benefits the people in like the 1%, and like we don't want to keep them there. They can just be the 1% of evilness, and that can just stay there. And then the rest of us, right? We're not like, it's only when you, like, people in corporations don't talk about their salaries, that's when they're able to pay whomever whatever they want to pay, instead of, oh wait, you make this much, I should be making that much. Like, they really don't want you to talk about that in corporations. Like, that's why I've just really distanced myself from that space, because that's just not right to me. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't make any sense. So seeing in China people being able to talk about these things, how much they make, how much they spend, what they spend on the space, and this, it helps everybody get equal, like equality, right? Or equity, at least, even if it's not equality, right? Because it is hard for everybody to be the same, but it can be equitable. I was watching something on Xiaohongshu, and some lady in Scotland whose water got cut off because Trump was starting to build a golf course there, and then he stopped building his golf course there. And it's like, what makes that one man so much more important than this lady and her family? Like, what is it? How are we literally, how has something been invented to then place value on people's lives when life alone is its value? So yeah, there's just a lot, but mostly I am really happy and really grateful that there are people really coming together, people understanding, um, and it feels like this exchange, virtual exchange program, which I studied abroad, and the guy of the founder of Rotary, I guess he said if everybody did an exchange year abroad, then we would have world peace. And I believe that. And I believe that this virtual exchange that we have going on with everybody around the world is helping us get there, getting us to this place of, just like, oh wow, we're just people. We're just people. Like in Poland, they have a similar holiday as they do in India. Like, because we are all people. And I watched somewhere that it's, they're like, kindness needs no translation. Smiles don't need any translations, right? So we can be kind unto ourselves, and that's what we can carry with us. And also we can forgive ourselves from the past, right? Because self awareness can become self loathing if you only are aware of the negative things of yourself, right? So I need to hear that. That being aware is great, but not just of the negatives, of the positives too. Um, so inspiration also means breathing in, right? So to inspire, that is vital, being inspired. And you should not need to be inspired by wanting to copy somebody. You should be inspired by wanting to do something that makes you feel equivalent to what they're feeling. And that's with me and dancing. I love dancing because I know when I dance, it makes other people feel something. It usually makes people want to dance, but at least something. And if dancing is not your thing, it hopefully brings something out in you that you enjoy. And that's what I really want to spread, is that making like you great again, right? Like that's what we need to be focusing on. So not being influenced to be like people, being inspired to be like yourself. That is it. So bunch of rambles there. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate myself for doing this for me too, and watching these um, really bring me joy, truly. So I think that is something that's really important to like do things for yourself and by yourself that bring you joy as well. So I hope you join me on the next one.